It's all around research-inspired learning, which is how the academics' personal research interests can help the students and give them the best student experience possible and the best academic experience possible. This is something that I've tried to champion through my role this year as a sabbatical officer or president of the Student Union by working with academics to try and highlight these where possible.
What research-inspired learning means is that students are able to not just talk about ideas that other people have come up with, but students are also able to develop their own ideas, to develop their own knowledges. And that's incredibly valuable both for students' individual learning journeys, but also for employability later on as well.
The feedback that we've had has sort of been people tend to perhaps not like lab work that much, but then when they get out of sort of the forced experimental setup that you have maybe when you're doing lab practicals, and you get to work on a research project and you get real results, I think that inspires people and they find it a lot more interesting.
With some of the assessments in particular have been really helpful in trying to enable us to understand what really is research. I mean, how it's conducted, how to manage a project.
And that means that there's always opportunities that you can get involved with, and because there's Exeter, I think for us it's the leading centre for diabetes, so there's lots of people who want to do research in diabetes, and as a student being in that environment, you then have multiple different PhD students or doctors, nurses who all want to get research done in that field, so it just opens up opportunities.
And to be honest, the skills that we learn here, they're not just for research either. They are, useful for all aspects of life. Learning how to critically analyse anything, any kind of literature or any kind of piece of information is really important just for reading, general media.
People that I have been involved in teaching or who I have involved in our research, and we even have high school students who do something called the Nuffield Fellows who come and work with us in the summer. They have either joined our research group, which is wonderful, or they've come back to us and said, the fact that I had that experience with you, it was pivotal.
It could lead on to potential avenues beyond just that module. It could lead to a new dissertation, or it could lead to a new piece of work that may end up being quite innovative and being published or kind of recognised in the field. So broadly speaking, I think it's definitely worthwhile looking at the opportunities and the different teachings that are taught through Exeter and seeing if there's anything that really strikes you, because the chances are you're not alone in sharing that passion.